What's up guys, Kawasaki here, and today I'm going to be talking about Stardom Supreme Fight. This is going to be happening next Saturday over here where I'm at, which will be on, I believe, February 8th on Japan time. It's going to be a short but sweet card, but let's just kick things off. Uh, like if you enjoy what I'm giving y'all out, and comment if you think otherwise, and or if you have your own thoughts. Without further ado, let's begin. So we have Sai Kamatani versus Starlight Kid for the World of Stardom Championship. Then we have Konami versus Ami Saray for the Wonder of Stardom Championship. We have Bia Priestley and Hanan versus Daskatora and Ruaka for the Goddess of Stardom tag. Then we have Enax and VM Vida Loca in a special unit match. Then we have a singles match between Saki Kashima and Suri. We have a match between Rina and Fuwa-chan. And as far as I know, last but not least, we have Maki Ito versus Aya Sakura. So we're gonna start with this one right here. So, Maki Ito has joined Stardom within the past month, and she's already been making headlines. She's been making waves, and she's been making some unlikely foes. One of them is Aya Sakura, and with this match, the stipulation is as goes. If Maki Ito loses, she cannot use the moniker of the cutest in the world. And if Maki Ito wins and Aya Sakura loses, Maki Ito remains cutest in the world, and I guess decides that Aya Sakura has to do what she pleases. So me personally, I think this is very one-sided, especially coming with the stipulation of the cutest in the world titles on the line. This is Maki Ito's gimmick, and she has been known for this for the past 10 years. And despite being a part of Stardom for not even a month, and knowing what she's capable of, and what she can bring to Stardom, and what the storylines are starting to kind of gravitate towards. I know on the sidelines, Natsupoi has acknowledged Maki Ito, and Sarino has quoted she wants Maki to take on Aya, and I believe Sayaka, then Natsupoi, and then Sarino. And this is kind of a rough one for Aya. With how Aya works, and kind of how Maki works, and how her gimmick and storyline is pretty much the cutest in the world, I kind of think this is very one-sided, with Maki picking up the one on this one. So for this first one, I'm going to say Maki Ito is going to beat Aya Sakura. Next is going to be Fuwa-chan and Rina. Rina has called out Fuwa, saying, you say you are a full-time wrestler, but you haven't been here. So I'm going to beat the dog breaks off of you and make sure you know the ways of a professional wrestler. And with how Fuwa-chan is, she has a heavy presence on social media, at least in Japan. And Rina, despite taking the loss over back to the last pay-per-view that they did over at Corcoran Hall against Konami for the Wonder of Stardom Championship, I kind of think Fuwa is going to try to prove herself as much as she can. But at the very end, it is not enough to dethrone Rina. And I know personally, Rina has such a high glass ceiling. It would be a shock if Fuwa surprise rolled up Rina. But me personally, I want Rina to pick up the win. Next, Siri Saki Kashima. Saki Kashima is, I guess, as from what she said back in the January show, she is on the road to retirement. And Siri placed the special request match onto her. And the clashing of comedy versus serious wrestling is going to be pretty much a part of this match. Knowing Siri, but also knowing Saki, there can be a chance of liberties being taken with Saki Kashima's Kikai's hair, or Siri just dog walks Saya. And personally, I kind of want Saya to pick the win, just so this builds up a little more momentum going into All-Star Grand Queendom back in April, or later on in April, where she's going to be retiring, allegedly. And kind of going from that, we have, going from faction conflicts, we have one that's a bigger faction conflict. We have Mivita Loca and Enex's View. And going from what I can remember, it's going to be Micah, Rion, Hadako. No, that's God's Eye. No, I'm right. Micah, Waka versus Suzu Suzuki, Itsuki Aoki, I believe Rina Yamashita, and Akira Kurogane. But I know there's a fifth member of Enex's V. I think it's Xena. So Micah, Xena, Rion, Hanako, and there's one more. But from what a lot of Japanese people have been tweeting, and from what I've seen, there is a very minor chance Enex's V will have a betrayal. And the one that's been projected is Hanako, which is a very weird, interesting take. And I know Hanako wants the best for what do you call it? For Enex's V. Ever since Mina left Stardom. But Enex's V is also there. They're a little bit more brash. They're a little bit more relentless. So I could personally see Mivita Loca pick up the win, especially with the betrayal. But going from there, we have the Goddess of Stardom tag team match for the belts. Minaska Torn Raka versus Hanan and Bea Priestley. Now, Bea Priestley has returned to Stardom in recent times and started to get kind of close to the stars. And knowing stars and kind of knowing Bea Priestley with her past, I kind of have the fear of a heel turn. It's either Hanan or Bea Priestley. Personally, I think it's going to be Bea Priestley. And the only reason being is Bea Priestley was a part of a heel faction in Stardom at the time known as Oedo Tai, which is now known as Hate. Bea Priestley is going to turn her back on Hanan at the end of the match. BMI 2K is going to win this tag title match, and Bea Priestley is going to be a newest member of Hate. Next, co-main event, we have Konami versus Amisure. We have a technician striker taking on a powerhouse. And with how Konami is being treated, like at least within the brand, and with how at least with how Ami and Konami is being built, like I can understand where it's like a good storyline between powerhouse versus technical. I think the technical slash striker is gonna be pick up the one in this, which is gonna be Konami. And I know, and I personally feel Konami's gonna hold the belt until Osaka and Queen, which is gonna be back. It's gonna kind of lean towards April or towards Golden Week, which is gonna be May. So, personally, as much as I want Amisuri to win this belt, also I could win the belt back, I think Konami's gonna win the belt back. I think Konami's gonna retain. And now, your main event is gonna be Starlight Kid versus Saya Kamitani. Now, there hasn't been as much build up as intended, as what Starlight Kid is intending for, but Saya has appeared at the last Korakura Hall show. Is going to be making a return, or has made her return already, from her month-long vacation. And knowing Starlight Kid, knowing Saya has defeated almost everybody that has stepped up to contend for the red belt. She's beaten Tom Nakano. She's beaten Sayaka. She's pretty much beaten like all the Cosmic Angels. She's beaten Momo, and next in line is gonna be and she's beaten Sarano. Now it's Starlight Kid. I believe this is gonna be a very good match between the two of them. Why? Because Starlight Kid is known to adapt to the opponents that she's worked. When she held the white belt, she's beaten the likes of Reno. She's beaten Natsupoi for the belt. She's beaten Konami once. She's beaten Tomoko Inaba. She's beaten Azumi. So she really had to mold her moveset according to who she's facing. Saya has been very consistent, was very static, but it's also known for facing anyone and everyone that's going to be going for the main belt, which is what she has around her waist and shoulders. And sadly, knowing this, I kind of think Saya is going to retain, and if E-Nexus wins, Mike is going to challenge for the belt in April at Osaka and Queendom. If it's not Micah, then who else is it going to be? There hasn't really been many challengers for Saya, at least up nowadays, besides Suri, and kind of that's it. Suri has beaten her for the IWGP and New Japan Strong Belt, which could be leading towards that they're going to unify the belts, but going into this match, I think Saya Kamitani is going to win the belt and retain, being her hashtag and still IWGP Women's Champion. So, in that case, I think personally Saya's going to win. And pretty much going off of that, that's going to be it from here. Like if you enjoy the video or my takes. Comment if you think otherwise. And you know what? Hopefully I can be able to be available for this. But I hopefully shall see y'all in the next video in our stream. Peace.